on this Royal Rumble edition of the Gimmick Minute Wrestling Podcast. I am Jason. I got Kevin. I got Riley with me this week, although we can't see Riley's beautiful face. It's just represented by a black screen. He is here with us with his dynamite drop-ins. But
he's in the closet with Alistair.
He's in the closet with Alistair. So I guess we'll start there right off the bat because, a lot of stuff's been happening with the WWE as far as the transfer portal. And it was revealed on Monday Night Raw that Zelina Vega had been transferred to Friday Night SmackDown. So that makes her no longer a part of the LWO, puts her off on her own. Do you think that may coincide with a returning Malachi or Aleister Black?
I mean, I would say so, yeah. I mean, it's almost pretty obvious at this point. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
That just seems kind of where that might be going, but who knows?
Riley's got kind of a blank stare on his face, so he's not quite sure.
Yeah. Yeah. What's an Alistar?
I mean, that's what he was in WWE. He wasn't Malachi in WWE.
Oh, Malachi? For some reason, I didn't think he was his no compete clause is still a couple months away.
Do they have no compete clauses for AEW?
I think he does.
Yeah, I don't know.
I read somewhere that he's not going to be there for the Rumble.
You actually read something on the internet?
Yeah, it popped. Well, it might have been a video that popped up on Facebook.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough call. I don't know what. I haven't heard much about AEW contracts and what they look like. I mean, I don't feel like Penta was gone 60 days from when his contract ended. Because it's one thing when your contract just ends outright and when you're actually released. It's usually when you're released early, you have the non-compete, but when your contract is just over, there isn't always a non-compete with that.
I feel like an AEW contract is get paid $5 million a year and they'll get used.
Yeah. I guess every contract could be different, and who knows what. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping he shows up at the Rumble.
Yeah, I guess Stephanie McMahon was interviewed, and she said that there are going to be some surprises in the Rumble, but a few of them have already been, or a few of what would have been surprises have already been announced. Joe Hendry has been announced, so that's going to happen.
I didn't think that was a surprise.
I didn't really either, but I mean, at the same time, though, I guess it is and it isn't. If it's not announced and he shows up, then it's a surprise because he doesn't really work there.
Well, when he won that award on NXT, he's like, yeah, don't be surprised if I show up on Raw or SmackDown. So I expected him to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And then, Jordan Grace signed with WWE, so I imagine she'll be in it. Charlotte Flair.
Did you see that thing with her and Chris Van Vliet?
Yeah, I listened to the whole interview.
Okay, about 40 women.
Oh yeah, she believed an internet rumor.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, I only caught a clip of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was like,
yeah, I think that was her reading a dirt sheet article and thought that they were doing 40 women, but I don't think they're going to do that. So
I mean, they could.
It hasn't been announced, but yeah, I don't know. I do not know. So Charlotte's been announced. I do. Kevin, you had to appreciate the video package for Charlotte, though. Did you see?
Oh, yeah.
And at the end, what she said with a tear in my eye.
Yeah, and on the private jet. You know what I mean? Let's just get this out of the way. She's got to be the odds-on favorite to win it.
Oh,
That's my prediction. We'll just get that out of the way. But I think another person could be involved that might be in the Final Four.
Okay.
So.
Who's that?
Becky Lynch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Becky could definitely make a surprise appearance. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that are calling for Alexa Bliss to finally make her return.
AJ Lee.
Yeah, AJ Lee. CM Punk, I kind of like half-ass teased AJ.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, and then on the men's side, I mean, the men's side is just a loaded roster of people. I mean,
yeah, I can't see a lot of. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it last year where there really wasn't that many surprises, or maybe the year before? I feel like since Triple H,
it's really been the last 2 years. Yeah,
I feel like since he's taken over, they've kind of gotten away from that, and he's put more emphasis on who's there, which it's cool because it almost leaves you guessing for like, oh, okay, well this year they're going to do like the last 2 years, and then all of a sudden maybe we get that big surprise.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, the roster right now is just so loaded that it's almost like you don't even really need the surprises. The only thing that, Alistair would be a surprise. The one, though, that I've seen floated around a bunch, what if Bryan Danielson's in the Royal Rumble?
I was thinking him or like Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
Would be cool, but oh man, that would be.
I mean, if Brian's music hits.
Do you honestly think though? Like, is he still under contract?
I don't think so. I think his contract ended when he dropped the title to Moxley. Because he was taking time away. To my understanding, his contract was up at that point, and he was just walking away for a while to take a break, if not retire completely. But I don't see a guy like Brian. I mean, that dude lives for the wrestling business. Like, I don't see him ever fully going away. And, if he maybe has Punk in his ear, maybe a couple other guys in his ear, maybe now that
his sister-in-law.
Fuck was that?
Oh, sorry.
Jesus. Yeah.
I think something's dying over there.
So you got Nikki possibly coming back. She could be in the Royal Rumble or doing another run here pretty soon. You got there's so many different options. There's so many different things that they could do. It'd be interesting.
Is Asuka coming back?
I would hope Asuka's coming back soon. I don't know what her injury was and what the extent of it is. The only thing I've seen with Asuka was she recently came out and said that she's been feeling in danger lately. Apparently, there's like a few fans that have been like hardcore like stalking her and stuff like that. I didn't actually read the full article about it. I just saw some of her comments on it, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's Asuka's another possibility. I feel like there's definitely going to be some more surprises probably on the women's side than there is going to be on the men's side. But I still hope there's at least a couple of surprises on the men's side. Like a Miro or Alistair, somebody from AEW coming back or something like that. Not just a TNA talent. But honestly, I'd be cool though. Like, what if like Mike Santana came over from TNA to be in the Royal Rumble or
Cardona?
Yeah, Cardona would be a great one. And Cardona kind of talked about it in an interview recently. So he definitely would be a possibility. I mean, he's always ready, right? He just shows up everywhere. So. Yeah, I mean, typically we do these Royal Rumble episodes a little bit more structured, and we do like who's going to be the. But I didn't have time to set anything like that up today, so we're just kind of bullshitting on the fly here and just kind of going over what we think might happen. But
yeah, and I know we could always really. There's only 4 matches on the card.
Yeah, I just pulled the card up. So yeah, you got the men's Rumble, the women's Rumble, you got the Undisputed Championship match, the ladder match between Cody and Kevin Owens. And then you got the tag team championship. When was the last time the tag team championship was defended at a PLE? Probably WrestleMania, right? When they split the titles up.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot remember recently Raw or SmackDown tag titles.
So we got the WWE Tag Team Championship DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns, 2 out of 3 falls. So your 2 non-Royal Rumble matches are a 2 out of 3 falls match and the ladder match for the championship. and that's it. I mean, that's the card right there in a nutshell. So unless they add something on Raw or SmackDown with these go home shows, I mean, because right now Gunther doesn't have a match on the card, but he doesn't really have a story. He doesn't really have a storyline either. Neither of the women's titles are on the line, right?
No, it's perfect because like both Rumble matches over an hour, right? You're at 2 hours right there, and then you can figure out all the other stuff. But Cody and KO are going to go for a while. A 2 out of 3 falls match is probably going to go for. So you got to figure at least 20-some minutes for each of those matches. So right there, you're at 3 hours.
Yeah,
with stuff intertwined.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, they'll have like filler, like backstage segments and stuff like that.
So it begins at 6. You sure it's not the pre-show?
No, I mean it showed that it said that the show started at 6 o'clock, but maybe I don't know. Maybe that is the pre-show, but
no, they kept saying special.
Yeah,
special start time.
6 o'clock, right?
So it's starting an hour earlier.
Yeah,
interesting.
And that's Central Time too, so it's like 5 o'clock your time, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, kickoff's at 5, and then wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's weird. That's weird, but maybe it has something to do with something going on in that area, like in Indy or something. I don't know, but either way, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Trying to go through some of the things. Oh, one thing. This is random and completely off the wall, and really has nothing to do with the Royal Rumble. But I was watching SmackDown the other day, and BFAB had a match with. She's kind of involved in the storyline with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven and Meechin. Did you know BFAB is from Canton, Ohio?
Yeah, she went to Perry High School.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. So
when they introduced her and she's like, from Canton, Ohio?
Yeah,
I'm like, I know that place.
I've been there.
Yeah, I was like, I thought the same
Then I started Googling all this stuff about her.
Yeah. So, Austin Theory, Grayson Waller got traded to Raw. Dude, how about Jimmy Uso main eventing a SmackDown? Good for him. What do you guys think about? So since we haven't really talked since after the debut of Monday Night Raw, right? So debuted, we talked about the debut, but then we really haven't talked. I don't think we've recorded much since the debut. So just your impression. What's your impression after the first few weeks of Raw on Netflix?
I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't been able to watch after the first show. So because of account issues. So I've only been able to just watch highlights on X or whatever. But I'm sure it's been fine. I did want to talk a little bit about, so we had Saturday night's main event.
Yeah. Saturday night's main event.
And then I liked it because, the first one, they put a lot into the first one. And I liked this one because it almost felt like a normal Saturday night's main event. Because Saturday night's main event was always all pull out all the stops. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You had some good matches. You had some this and that. You had the contract signing, which was cool. You know what I mean? So it definitely had even more old school Saturday night's main event vibe.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even the first one, kind of similar to the debut on Netflix, seemed like kind of like an introduction. Like, okay, this is what this is, and the thing
now you're gonna get what more of it is. Kind of.
And the thing that I liked about it too is that, and this is kind of old school in a way as well. You had on the debut episode Cody versus KO, right? And how that ended with KO attacking him, stealing the winged eagle, right? Well, now that storyline is kind of morphed and it traveled to the next Saturday night's main event. So if you've only ever tuned into the Saturday night's main event, you know that this dude stole this championship on the last episode, and now this episode they're setting up for a match at the Royal Rumble, and they're doing the contract signing. So if you've only ever watched that, now you're like, oh man, I need to watch the Royal Rumble to see what happens here. So
Right.
it's like continuing that story from one Saturday night's main event basically to another. I think it's very strategic and very well done how they were able to accomplish that. So I think that's that if that's what they're using Saturday night's main events for, I think they're doing it very well. So I will have to see after the next couple if they kind of continue on that type of path or not. But it's definitely well done so far from what I've been watching. So
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the same thing with the Netflix debut, right? It's kind of like an introduction, like, hey, this is what you can expect, and now they're kind of into their regular programming to where they're doing more storylines and things of that nature. So, and then, dude, freaking JD McDonough on Monday Night Raw, man, that bump was nasty. And just watching the match afterwards, like you knew there was something wrong with him. But kind of like everybody else, I'm thinking, oh, maybe he got concussed, maybe he got, I guess with a head as thick as his, though, it's kind of hard to concuss him.
Yeah.
But
there it is. I was waiting for it.
But for him to have punctured a lung and still went another. What was that match? Another 10 minutes after that, right? Did you watch the match live?
Yeah.
I mean, it takes some of the stuff that he.
I didn't watch it live, but.
But you watched it in like real time, right? You're not just highlights.
Yeah.
So I mean, he went like another 10 minutes or so, right?
Yeah.
And he took that one move from Eric that was almost like a reverse go to sleep. Like basically like he dropped. I mean, dude has a punctured lung and he got a knee to like the back, like the upper part of his shoulders, it like dropped on the dude's knee. And I was just brutal to watch, but I mean, he kept fighting through. So I have a whole different respect for JD McDonough today than I did prior to that. I mean, it's almost like when that dude comes back, he might just be an over babyface because everybody's going to have too much respect for him.
Right?
Yeah. That the spot on the table, like that, the way his head hit. What is that?
I don't know. Sound like somebody was knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm. Riley, are you in there?
No, I'm not in here. Go away.
I swear, if we just see a silhouette of Riley and then Aleister Black just like comes in from the back.
Yeah. That's messed up.
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, that was nasty. Like just him. And that's that's the thing. They've made such a big deal about that new table and how indestructible it is. So
yeah,
my question is, did they put that there on purpose because they were tired of people breaking the table all the time, or is it like one of those things to where they're going to keep talking about how indestructible it is until somebody finally breaks it?
Right.
So
with the back of their fucking head.
Yeah, right. Yeah. One of the two things, but I don't know. Either way. Let's see. Logan Paul finally showed up to work. So he showed up on Monday Night Raw to help open the show and talked about trying to win the Royal Rumble. So from the men's Royal Rumble perspective, I mean, that's going to be... Man, that's a low. Like, let's go through it real quick. We got Logan Paul, who is going to be in it. John Cena, who we know already is going to be in it. Roman Reigns is going to be in it. Let's see, LA Knight, Penta,
Seth Rollins,
CM
Punk, Drew McIntyre.
Thank you, Riley. So I mean that's already pretty loaded right there, just with that. So I mean I gotta think
Jimmy
like
and Jay,
so.
Sami Zayn.
I mean, is this CM Punk's to win, or what are we thinking? Who's
After that
winning the Royal
after that
Rumble?
after the promo on Monday, I have flipped to him because I think originally I was thinking Cena was going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, but after
No,
that,
see. I don't think
Oh, no.
Cena's gonna win it because Cena.
no,
They
I
keep
don't either
saying,
now.
yeah, but they keep saying Cena's gonna be at the Elimination Chamber. Cena's at the Elimination Chamber. So I think he wins the Elimination Chamber to get his match, and
For the
he
world
takes
title,
whoever.
probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
Because I think right now it's CM Punk versus Cody.
after
To
what
me-
happened at the end of
Yeah, Monday.
at the end of Monday? Yeah, that
Yeah,
almost was weird
and-
because I thought the show was over, and then all of a sudden that happened. So it was almost like that, like a little bonus content in a way. Like it's almost like it's kind of off script.
yeah.
And I hate that it's almost like semi-predictable, but I think that's your money main event. But I also think it's going to come down to CM Punk and Roman,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
Paul
this is
Heyman?
where this is where he cashes in his favor.
So what
The
Paul
one thing he wanted.
Paul pulls Roman over the rope or something, or Paul.
Did you see that like AI thing? It was like Roman. It was like WWE 2K24 or something like that, and it was down to Punk and Roman, the last two in the Rumble, and Roman goes over the top, but he's not over yet. He's on the outside of the apron, and then all of a sudden somebody comes in a hood and pulls him down, and it's Paul Heyman, and then he walks away with CM Punk.
Oh my.
So, but I could legit see that happening.
Yeah. That definitely could be the case.
I just think it's his to win now. But the thing is, unless they completely swerve us with something with him and Rollins or McIntyre or somebody or something. I don't know.
I'm still saying Cody Rhodes wins it.
The Rumble?
Yeah.
The Rumble.
So he's going to lose the match with Kevin Owens and then get in the Rumble and win the Rumble?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you're high.
No, Kevin, I'm drunk. There's a difference.
Yes. Tomato. There's your title of the show, Jason.
Yes, that is no, Kevin, I'm drunk. There's a difference.
Tomato.
Oh yeah, should it be tomato or no, Kevin, I'm drunk. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I feel like it's probably going to be Punk, but I mean the John Cena thing is intriguing. The nice thing about it though is prior to the last few years, the Royal Rumble had become very predictable. But the nice thing about what they've been doing lately is that it's predictable, but there's at least like 3 or 4 people that it could be, right? So it's like, I mean, Punk makes the most sense, but you could also make an argument for Cena. You could also make an argument for Rollins. You could also make an argument for Roman Reigns. Yeah. So I mean, you can make the argument for any of these people. So it definitely could be literally anybody.
I can even add to that. You could even make in for Jay, for Sammy.
Yeah, because Sammy, especially Sammy lately, like there's been a lot of you're never going to be world champion talk with him, right? So, I mean, you could definitely make an argument there.
I think it comes down to Punk, Rollins, Cena, Roman. That's my final 4 there. I think my final 4 on the women's will be Charlotte, Becky, Bianca, and I don't know.
We think Jade comes back at the Rumble?
Maybe Jade.
I mean, I got to think like we're like I don't even understand. I'm shocked that she's been gone this long.
Yeah, I haven't heard. No clue.
I mean, I can see Bailey being in the Final Four, being that she was the winner last year.
Yeah.
And she's talked about going back to back. By the way, did you guys see that thing I sent you? The Rhea Ripley picture.
Yeah.
How freaking funny is Bailey?
Hilarious.
Always on top because you refuse to wear bottoms. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. I mean, the women's is a little bit, and really the women's outside of Charlotte. I don't know if I could really make too much of an argument for anybody. I mean, this seems like it's lining up for Charlotte to win.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one else I can really think of. But if Jade's in it, I can see it coming down to Jade and Charlotte.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I can see that too.
Like Becky and Charlotte, I don't think it would come down to those two. I could see that though, but I would say maybe not come down to Jade and Charlotte, but they'll have a moment. You know what I mean?
You know, and talking about the men's Rumble too, I could see a scenario where Logan Paul wins it.
Yeah,
I could see a scenario where he's in the Final Four for sure, but I could potentially.
As long as he doesn't get his ass kicked. As long as he doesn't get his ass kicked by Ludwig for hitting on Tiffany Stratton. You saw that, right?
No, I did not.
Yeah, there's behind the scenes video of him like hitting on Tiffany Stratton, and Ludwig was supposedly going after him.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if it was all work or not, but it halfway seemed legitimate. Well, it halfway seemed legitimate because he was kind of backing off, and he had somebody like holding his hand, like holding him back.
Oh my god!
So
I don't know. Anything that he puts on camera, I feel is like a work for him.
Bullshit, yes.
Yeah, I mean anything because I mean he just had a kid. Is he really gonna go hitting on like he's got like I think he just recently got married. Is he really gonna go hitting on another woman? You know, and putting it on and it being put on camera like that? I don't know. Because that's kind of the gray area, right? When it comes to like. Dominic Mysterio is not Dominic Gutierrez. So like Dominic Mysterio can be, you know, have Rhea be his mommy and have Liv be his girl, but in real life he's married behind the scenes. His character is in this relationship. But Logan Paul and the character are like basically the same person. So it's a little harder for him to do stuff like that. But he's also a heel, so people expect him to be a scumbag. So I can also see where he would use that for his advantage because, you know, he would want that heat. But Ludwig's a heel too, so I don't know where that makes sense at.
Yeah, it was kind of odd.
Yeah, and not everybody knows that he's with Tiffany either. So, I mean, a lot of people do, but your common audience doesn't. But that's such a weird, odd couple, by the way. Do you think Big E ends up in the Rumble with Kofi and Xavier at some point?
Maybe. I mean, that'd be cool.
He just landed that gig on the animated Spider-Man show. He's doing a voice acting on that, but I could still see a Big E return, hopefully. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about the ladder match. So we got Cody versus Kevin Owens. Ladder match for it's weird that they have both the championships up there because it's like you're recognizing that Kevin is not a champion, but he is the champion because you're putting the belt up there that he's been carrying around.
Yeah, on a title that's going to go away after this match.
You know what I would love is if they introduced a new title belt that is like an homage to that.
Yeah, yes.
Like they somehow combine what they have now and put in the look of the Winged Eagle title and have some sort of like hybrid championship as a result of this whole thing. That'd be cool if that's what
I
they end up
mean,
doing.
yeah, I mean, if you do something like that, you just do the theme of how the world title is, where you have that same kind of WWE logo with the globe behind it, like in the middle, and then you could have the eagle, and then you could just have it say, instead of world, where it says world, it could just say undisputed and then champion. You know what I mean? Like where you have world champion, the world title says world champion, whereas the modified winged eagle would say undisputed and then champion at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you can keep the same kind of side plates, and then you can still have custom, like, you know, cutouts in the side plates or whatever for whoever's.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like that better, but who knows if they'll do that or not. I mean, I definitely like the championships. I like the look of the one that Cody carries, or what Roman started to carry, you know, towards the end there with the gold in the background and stuff like that. But it's still not my favorite.
I think they're all. No, and I think they're past all that. And like we've talked about here, they have all those like legacy titles and custom titles and stuff for teams and stuff they can make now. Like they don't really need these anymore. And I think people would, if they got some kind of new like modified title, like if you think about like Cody's title and then the one Tiffany Stratton, like those are like the only like not modified really titles if you think about it. So I think they should be modified. I know you like the U.S. title, but I still think the U.S. title should be modified. I don't.
Honestly, I kind of think the design of the U.S. title would fit the world title good too, because it's got that eagles on it.
Yeah, I just don't like how it's.
But the women's U.S. title looks like that too, so they're not going to change the men's U.S. title anytime.
I know that's the problem.
Yeah, but I like it, so it's a problem for you, not so much for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, so Riley, you already got
the best. Sorry, real quick. The best title might be the new NXT title, the one they use for the NXT World title right now.
Yeah,
the new one. That might be like the best.
Did they have a new one from Trick to Oba?
No, that's the same one. It's
okay, yeah.
The one that Trick got, yeah.
Yeah.
when they changed over, when they went away from the rainbow one,
yeah,
to the new one.
Yeah, I like
that one. To me, like that might be like one of the best looking ones. Sorry,
that's okay. So the ladder match, we got Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. So Riley, you already kind of tipped your hand to what you're thinking of this one. So the fuck? Why is everything he does sound like the volume is?
You know, I used to. All right, I'm muting.
Sounds like you kicked a trash can across the room. All right, so Riley, you kind of tipped your hand a little bit. You kind of said that you thought that that Kevin Owens was going to win the ladder match, and that would put Cody in the Rumble. So what has you thinking that? Is that just what you want to happen, or do you feel like you saw something that's kind of leading you that direction?
I don't. I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that like after like the last 2 weeks of Sami Zayn kicking everybody, that he finally like just turns and he goes back to being a heel and he helps Kevin win it.
Okay. Ooh, man, that'd be tough for them to make Sami a heel, like a full heel.
I think they can do it.
Kevin ain't winning.
You don't think Kevin Owens wins it?
I would say there's a 0.00001% chance he wins.
Hey, but see, that makes me think
like 360. Whose battery's low, Jason?
I don't know.
Whose battery's low?
I think probably Tegan's. So, but that almost makes me think though that he will win, even if it's just a short period of time. just because, like, maybe he loses it back at Elimination Chamber or something like that, even if it's just a short period of time, because I feel like nobody expects Kevin Owens to win this match. So why not have him win it? Why not shake everything up? But I feel like Cody is and Riley, even to your point though, I could see Sammy trying to help Kevin, but not so much to necessarily turn heel, but just to have that opportunity to face Kevin at WrestleMania for the championship. Like the two of them, best friends, like having a world championship match at WrestleMania. Like I could see
And
that logic coming into play.
I am rooting for that match. That's the match that I want to see at WrestleMania.
Kevin and Sammy at WrestleMania, whether it's for a title or not, or does it?
No, I want the title. I want the title, and then Sammy wins the title.
Okay.
Well, you can get your Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn wrestler dolls out, and you can have your little WrestleMania match. Because that's ain't no way that fuck is happening.
You can create the arena on 2K24. And I don't know, man. Like there's a lot out there. There's a lot of different stories. There's a lot of different directions they can go. Is that scenario the most likely? Probably not. But is it impossible? I would say it's more likely to happen than what Kevin is giving the chance of it happening. But yeah, man. Like I don't know. Like the one thing that I pulled from the whole CM Punk Cody Rhodes thing after Raw was you're starting to see the descent into madness of Cody Rhodes. Like you're starting to see him come unglued a bit. And I guess the hints have been there, like when he used the chair to beat Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event. And there's been a few other things like where he said he was going to go full Homelander and different things like that. I think you're starting to see that the cracks in the foundation of Cody Rhodes, like he's letting the pressure get to him. And that's kind of where it's going. So I can see a scenario where that pressure gets to him and he loses it right before WrestleMania because he can't take the pressure of it, and that's a way for him to eventually build back up to winning it again and going on a long run or something like that. So I could see that scenario playing out too.
I personally think still can see the scenario though of Punk winning, challenging Cody, winning the title, but ultimately I still think a heel Punk is in the future because I think his work is so much better and as a heel. I don't know.
Can he be a heel?
Yes.
Everybody loves him.
Oh yeah.
He can be a heel. He'll still get.
No, he could, but can he now?
Yes.
I don't know, because even when he's being a dick on TV, people love him. I mean, when Seth Rollins is cutting a promo, they're chanting CM Punk. I don't see him being able to go full heel. It's going to be like they're going to try, but they're going to love him.
He did though before he left when he was on that title run where he held the championship for a year. He started that championship run off as a babyface, and I would argue he was as over as anybody could be at that period of time because that was when he stole the title at Money in the Bank with John Cena and then left for a little bit, then came back with Cult of Personality. And when he started that championship run, he was a babyface and he was, people were chanting his name. That's when the whole thing started.
And then The Rock came back and then they were building up to The Rock's match at Survivor Series with Cena against R-Truth and Miz. And that's when he turned on The Rock and that's when he became a heel.
Yeah, I mean he has found ways to do it in the past to get the crowd to hate him. Now there is going to be a segment of the audience, like I for one, even if he's a heel, I'm still gonna like him. But you know, I'll understand. Like, okay, I'm you know, there's still gonna be a part of me that's gonna like whatever character he's playing, no matter what. But I can see a scenario where
Well, I think that goes with like our age. There's not too many heels or faces that like. It's like if you like him, you like him. I don't care if you're a heel or a face. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're a heel or a face. If you're a heel or a face, I might hate you. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So, so I think that kind of just goes with the territory. I think he could be a heel, but like you said, he's still gonna have people like him. But he's not gonna. But he's still gonna play that. He's not gonna play up to that. You know what I mean? Like he'll play up to how he should be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely.
So Riley, you're saying Kevin Owens is winning, and Sami Zayn's going to win the Rumble and challenge Kevin Owens, and that's going to be the main event of WrestleMania.
No. I already said that Cody Rhodes is going to win the Rumble. I said I would like Sami to win and challenge.
So Cody's going to lose. And then Cody's going to lose and then come back in and win the Rumble for the third year in a row.
Yep.
First
time ever. First time. Just like the Chiefs.
Oh, God.
I
don't know why Travis Kelce is giving me John Cena when he proposed to Nikki Bella vibes. Like he's just they're gonna win the Super Bowl, then he's gonna propose to Taylor Swift like right on stage.
He's such a punk, man. I love how he just thinks he's a shit and he didn't do shit in that game except taunt DeMar Hamlin and then draw a personal foul penalty.
He's he talked about on the latest episode of his podcast about how he's embracing them being the heels now. Like that's kind of like they're taking on that persona to draw a parallel to professional wrestling. Like they're happy to be that in that heel role now. All right, but anyway, enough about that. All right, so we got that, and then the 2 out of 3 falls match with the Motor City Machine Guns and DIY. I mean, I think more than anything, that's going to be an introduction to the WWE audience of like who the fuck Motor City Machine Guns actually are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's going to accomplish that more than anything. The Ciampa's character is definitely very intriguing.
Speaking of Ciampa, did you see what R-Truth fucking tweeted today?
No.
Okay, so you know how Triple H has been announced as the first member
of the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
R-Truth tweeted a picture of Tommaso Ciampa saying congratulations to Triple H for being rightfully deserved induction into the Hall of Fame. Look up his ex.
I'm pulling it up right now. See if I can find
Oh my god. I just came across it earlier. This fucking guy.
Where's it at? I can't find him. Oh, there he is. Ron Killings. Yep, here it is. Here, I'll share it on the screen too so everybody else can see it. Yep, here you go. Well, I got 2 words for you. About time. Congratulations. Hashtag are you ready, Cerebral Sasser. I'm so proud of you.
Oh my god.
That's good. Good stuff, Truth. Yeah, I love it. Oh,
I know that Nick Aldis has always been called the national treasure, No,
Yeah.
R-Truth is a national treasure.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. All right. I'm trying to think. There's not really too much else that I was going to talk about. I guess I will mention one thing on AEW because it's really the only good thing on AEW. And if this doesn't main event their next,
And it was fucking tremendous. I know you're going to talk about.
You know what I'm going to say?
Yes, it should be. It should be absolutely the highlight main event of. I mean, God, please don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Riley, you have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
All right, so on Collision on Saturday, and I actually watched Collision for the first time in I can't tell you how long, and I'm glad that I watched it. There was a segment with Mariah May and Toni Storm, and Toni Storm, since she lost her title, has gone back to being old Toni Storm, and basically like forgot like the last like 2 years. You know, she didn't even, you know, she's pretending like she had never been in AEW before. Like none of her previous run ever happened. So she said she has this whole thing with Mariah May. They're going back and forth, and she's like how excited she is to be sharing a ring with her because she won the chance to be number one contender, and she even like hugged Mariah May and like put her head like right on her chest and was like, and then Mariah May attacked her, knocked her out, and went up and cut a promo. So then Toni grabs the microphone and goes, "Oh, you think I forgot?" And then basically like in her timeless voice, and then does this whole thing where she's cutting this promo and she's stripping off her clothes to like the timeless Toni Storm outfit underneath, and she smears her makeup across her face. And she goes, "They say the hardest role you'll ever play is playing yourself." And then cuts this promo and hits the line of the century and goes, "You may be the woman from hell, but you came from my womb." Like, just absolutely killed it. And then hit the whole thing.
I'll stuff you back in there.
Yes.
I'll stuff you back in and spit you out. No, she said she's gonna rip her tits off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but can I just say, as great as that was, but as great as that was, you gotta give kudos to Mariah May for her facial expression.
Yeah.
Because she didn't do this, or she just was like this.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Confused
like,
the whole
what
time and
the
worried.
Fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like the whole time. So to me, more than anything, was that stuck to me. So big props to her. Yes, that needs to be like, well, I don't know what they need to save it for All In.
Well, it's I think it's Revolution, but I think it's the pay-per-view they're doing in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Or unless that's just a show that they're doing, I don't know. But yeah, I mean that really should main event.
Whatever they think their next biggest thing is that's going to draw the most money, it better be the main event, not this fucking Death Riders stupid shit or whatever.
Or Ospreay and Omega versus Don Callis' family or anything like that.
Unless that turns out to be a big like heel turn for Kenny Omega or something, like I don't care.
Yeah. No. But dude, I mean, just the whole the only thing that really sucked about it is it was on Collision, not Dynamite. I mean, like nobody watches Collision. I'm shocked I was even watching. The only reason I watched it is because the nice thing about them being on HBO Max is I can actually watch the whole show even if they have an overrun. And if you watch it later on, like after the fact, there's usually no commercials. So that's the one benefit of it being on Max. But I was working from home. I didn't have anything else to watch, so I put it on, and I was just like, "Holy shit! Like that was awesome. I'm glad I watched that." But yeah, but Timeless Toni Storm is back, stuff. And it's the best thing AEW's ever done, and it's basically by accident. So the other thing, Ricochet's character is actually really intriguing too. Like this psycho heel character that he has, like this. Yeah, I mean It's way different than any way Ricochet has ever been presented before, and I'm not mad about it. But anyway, but forget all that. I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. I can't wait. The Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view. Every year, I look forward to it. I even was like half debating on trying to get tickets and actually going this year, just because it's Cena's last one, and Indianapolis isn't that far away. But unfortunately, I got some stuff going on with my house that I need that money for instead. So, you know. But yeah, I can't wait to watch the Royal Rumble. I'm really looking forward to it. Whether it's Cena who wins or Punk who wins or whoever, you know, whether there's 10 surprises or no surprises, I still love the Rumble and still think it's fun. So
Plus, I want to real quick before we wrap up, Riley. What if the the men's Rumble match is first? How's Cody gonna win it then?
Well, Kevin, if that is first, I'm obviously wrong.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know it hasn't
You think
happened
about
yet.
that,
So yeah, I did.
Sorry to wake you up.
I'm sorry, Kevin, that I have thoughts and opinions of my own, and I just don't go along with everybody else. My apologies. CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk.
You know who's not going to win any Rumble match will be Indy Hartwell because she sucks.
Wow, Kevin's just being a dick. What else is new? Good job, Kevin. Keep knocking me down. Knock me down.
remember when Riley predicted that Indy Hartwell will win the next Money in the Bank, and then she got fired 3 days later? Sorry, Riley. I meant to bring that up before, but I don't think we ever talked about it. So he mentioned it, so I had to say.
You should never reveal your drunkenness. So
this will probably be my last podcast ever. So good night and good luck.
He just almost hit the Kenny Omega line. Good night and goodbye. Anyway, all in fun, but I don't know. Do we even? I guess so. Kevin, you said you think Charlotte's going to win the Women's Rumble. I tend to agree with you.
That's so dumb, Kevin.
Well, who do you think is going to win the Women's Rumble, Rye?
I don't know. I don't have any opinions.
All right.
My prediction is whoever throws.
Tiffany Stratton's gonna lose the title on SmackDown, and then she's gonna come out and win the Rumble.
Yep. He's got it. All right. I am.
Cody Rhodes is winning it. Cody Rhodes. So the women's is gonna main event. So that way Cody loses semi-main event. That way. Oh, the men's is over, so I guess I gotta enter the women's. So
you just bullied Riley off of the show.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Way to go, Kevin. You made him leave.
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh my god.
You wouldn't stop. Nah, I'm sure he's fine. He's just having fun. We may not see him for at least another 3 weeks, though, before he comes back. But anyway. All right. So, all right, your final is Punk and Charlotte, though. That's who you think is going to win the 2 Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, Punk, Charlotte, Cody, DIY.
Punk, Charlotte,
For my
Cody,
4-match.
DIY. Okay, 4-match prediction. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I like it. I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't know. The men's is too hard. I could easily see Roman winning it too, but somehow Punk getting involved because of that favor that Paul owes him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll say Punk, and I'll go with Charlotte. But I think there's a chance Kevin Owens wins the ladder match, or there's some sort of controversy around it to get us another week with it or another month with it. And I think Motor City Machine Guns win the 2 out of 3 falls match.
Okay.
All right.
That could be a show stealer.
Oh yeah, I think it definitely will be. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I honestly hope that opens the show, because I don't want them to open with either Rumble match. I just feel like that could be a death spot. You know what I mean? Like, if this is like true, like Triple H, he did like opening with tag matches a lot, if you think about it.
Yeah.
So I think you do that women's ladder match, men's. Well, ladder match might main event. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, especially with
I
that.
don't know. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they structure that. I'm curious to see how they do that, because you're right. I mean, opening with
Let's say open with Cody. How funny it would be if Cody and Kevin open, Cody loses, and then he does come into the next Rumble.
I think that might be the only thing.
Riley, if you listen back to this or you're watching, I will ship you a case of PBR or whatever fucking beer you like. Molson X.
The other wild card in this whole thing too is Randy Orton. I mean, we haven't even thought about Randy Orton. Where's he going to show up at? Is he going to interfere in that match with Cody and KO? Is he going to show up in the Rumble? Where's Randy Orton in this whole thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a whole nother swerve with Cody and Randy Orton going into WrestleMania. We don't even see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
And what about The Rock?
Yeah.
We're seeing all this shit. What if The Rock randomly shows up in the Royal Rumble and screws everything up? I mean, there's so many different directions that it can go. It's just too hard to call.
What was he on the other day or something like that? He kind of like called out Cody or something. Did you see that?
I heard about it.
He was on something.
It was a sports show. It was like a pre-game or post-game or something like that. Like it was something to do with the Eagles game or something like that. But yeah, he like called out Cody or something. Yeah. So that there's another X factor in there too. Like the men's Rumble is just gonna be too hard to call. There's just too many moving parts. It's hard to say what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but I like that. That's the thing I love about it, though. Like I'm glad, like we just don't know that it's going to be Punk going into it, because how many times has it, we known it was going to be this guy and it ended up being that guy.
With Triple H tore his quad and he came back, you knew Triple H was going to win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
John Cena showed up, like the second John Cena showed up, you knew he was going to win.
Yes,
that one run.
When Austin came back from his neck injury,
right,
you knew he was going to win. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been this air of predictability in there. So, but I did like a lot of the promos where everybody was predicting that they were going to win, because then it reminded me of that one Rock promo where he's like, Section 825 said that they were going to win the Royal Rumble.
This sexy mama here in the second row who's been staring at the Rock all night just said she's going to win the Rumble.
So... All right. Anyway, you can go ahead and wrap this up. So I appreciate anybody that listened to the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully we get Riley back at some point in the next week or two. But
cry me a fucking river.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I love you, Riley. Goddamn.
You'll have to send him. You're gonna have to send him an apology letter, though, if his prediction comes to.
Oh yeah.
Comes to fruition.
Here's your apology letter. Yeah. If I'm wrong.
That's what I'm saying. If you're wrong, if it happens, then you're gonna have to. Apologize.
Oh, I said I'm sure I'll send him some kind of Canadian beer.
There you go. All right. Canadian beer. All right.
You know, Riley. Not only that, Riley, I will find the best of bull riding or bullfighting, whatever it is that you like, and I'll buy you a DVD of that or something.
That was the other thing I was going to bring up. How funny was that Riley was talking about PBR on our show a couple like it was probably a few months ago now, but literally after that show, then WWE or TKO announced that they're starting a partnership or buying PBR, and then literally a couple weeks ago on Raw, they had John Layfield come out to do commentary for a match. And while he's out there, they introduced all the champion bull riders from PBR that were in the arena in the front row.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But how funny was that?
We're getting screwed here, Jason. I know
Just
somebody's listening and we're getting screwed.
Just saying, how funny was that? Like Riley was ahead of his time with PBR and WWE. He intertwined them before it actually happened. But I was gonna give him props for that, but I forgot, and then we pissed him off and he left. So to tell him another time.
He saw what time it was. He just wanted to go to bed.
No, he was ready to go to bed. He was using the excuse. I get it, but hey, he's still the title of the show though, because he's drunk and there's a difference. But all right, well, thank you again for listening. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope everybody enjoys the Royal Rumble. I know I will. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll be back next week to talk about who won and where we're going from here. So at least Kevin and I will. We'll see about Riley. But until next week, for Kevin, I'm Jason, reminding you all out there to be a fan and always live your gimmick. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, man. All right. And we're clear.